Now, the first batch of South African National Defence Force troops deployed to the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo as part of the SADC mission are set to return home today. They are scheduled to arrive at noon at Air Force Base Bloemspruit in Bloemfontein, where they'll be welcomed by the Minister of Defence and Military Veterans, Angie Motshekga, along with members of the Military Command Council. SABC News reporter Ishmael Modiba is on that story for us. This, of course, is a story we've been following for a very long time, waiting and watching for these soldiers to return back that have really been through the most to try and get back into South Africa through very sensitive and a delicate country. Talk to us about this final arrival today.
Well, good morning, Leanne. We are just a bit far away from the Bloemspruit Air Force Base. We know that this is where the South African National Defence members will be landing. And you recall that this, if we can go back a little bit, we know that these members have been deployed in a peacekeeping mission in the Eastern DRC. That is when where scores of them were wounded earlier in January, where they were in clashes between the M23 forces and the DRC government troops earlier in January. And subsequent to that, we know that we had about 14 of South African defence members who lost their lives in that peacekeeping mission, and they were brought back home in the beginning of end of January, beginning of February, and they were buried here in South Africa. Majority of them buried in Limpopo, 2 I remember in Northern Cape, and the other 3 they were buried in the Free State. And that was the process that involved a lot of logistics for the defence force, including the families in repatriating those bodies to come back home. After that process, I mean, that was February. Now 4 months later, we are waiting for the arrival of these soldiers, and we know that it has not been an easy task, because the war-torn environment there engaged with the rebels to clear the road so that as and when they are ready to fly back, they will be in a clear environment, and that's how it took longer. And this is the first batch of the South African National Defence Force members who will be landing today, and later on they will be landing at midday, and around 2 o'clock the Minister of Defence and Military Defence will be briefing the media at the Tempe military base here in the Free State, just to outlay to us the process, how it involved, and if whether, we know that this is the first batch, how many are they left in that DRC, and how is this process going to be unfold. So it has been a long journey for those soldiers that has been stuck in the DRC, as we know that they have pulled out of that peacekeeping mission.
Right, Ishmael Modiba, thank you. Midday is when that's expected to start happening, so we really will be watching that, and certainly will, as SABC News, take it live, and we've got Ishmael covering that story for us. He will be there right on the front line as it happens.